how to set up a table.
So this is going to be one of the first videos that you are going to see here at Aroma Time. As a busser, this is one of the first steps and first things that you're going to be learning how to do. We are going to be setting a table. We have a couple of different size tables, and we have a couple of different areas that have tables in them. The first thing you're going to do once the guests have left the table, you're going to spray the table. You're going to spray the table lightly so that none of the spray goes anywhere else around any of our other guests. You do not want to spray like this. You want to spray gently onto the table. You then begin wiping the table. You want to wipe all areas of the table. You want to make sure there's no stickiness. You want to make sure that all crumbs and everything have been taken off the table. You also want to go around the edges of the table. You want to start with a clean rag. Rags should only be used 1 or 2 times on tables. You want to make sure the table is dry completely. Have you ever been to a restaurant and you've sat down and put your elbows on a table and the table is wet? You have no idea where that rag has been. Our guests as well have no idea where the rag has been. You are using a spray. It is an all-natural, no chemical spray called Thieves. It comes from Young Living Essential Oils. And in the Thieves, there are lots of different properties. There's lots of different things. Mostly essential oils of
Rosemary, thyme, lemon, cinnamon, clove.
It smells delicious. You can spray it on your hands. It is non-toxic. You could even swallow it if you wanted to. So the table is nice and clean and nice and dry. I then also spray the chairs and wipe the chairs. I make sure that there's no crumbs or dirt or anything on the chairs as well. Then you go put the rag and the bottle of Thieves on a chair nearby or at the server station. You begin by putting a bottle of water on the table. This is our sign. Once there's a bottle of water on the table, this is our sign that the table has been wiped. Put the Saratoga label.
Now all the staff will know that this table is clean once that water bottle's on, so anybody can look around and say, hey, this table needs to be set now, as opposed to being wiped down.
You also want to put a salt and a pepper shaker on the table. Make sure that they are clean when you put them on the table. If they need to be wiped down, please make sure you wipe them down. That goes on the table. Then there is a candle holder. This is made of selenite on the table with a candle which is rechargeable in the candle holder. You then want to put on it a table tent. This is what we call our table tent, with the table tent facing out. The information facing out.
And that has some terminology on it as well as upcoming events.
You then begin by setting the table with forks. Each table gets 2 forks. One is a little bit higher than the other. I like to put the napkins on, very nice and neat, with the point facing the guest and the chair. You want to make sure that the napkins are standing up and that they are sturdy. If they're not, we might need to refold the napkin. This is a good tester of how far apart the forks and the knives need to be. Then you can place the fork. The edge of the fork, you never want to touch silverware up on the top. You always want to touch it on the bottom. You want the edge of the knife facing the napkin. And then the spoon, which we have 2 size spoons, you want to put a little spoon, which is the teaspoon, next to the knife. The larger spoons are used for soup only. You then place a bread plate next to the forks. You want to make sure that you do not have them super close. You do not have them super wide. You want them to be just the right fit so that a plate can fit in the middle of it. You then want to bring over our glasses. They're Aroma Time pint glasses. The pint glasses get put on the table for tap water. The label, as you notice, is facing the knife. You want to pay attention to details. We are detail oriented and we want to make sure that all of the place settings look the same. You don't want to be too high and you don't want to be too low. You want to be just right. This is the proper way to set a table.